Hello, my name is Deborah Hovanek, and I will be presenting an intellectual disability case study. This is Gia. She is 5 years old, and she was diagnosed with intellectual disability after surviving a case of pertussis at 7 weeks old. She was hospitalized for 3 weeks during her case of pertussis. After her hospitalization, Gia's parents and pediatrician noticed she was not meeting her developmental milestones as expected. She began early intervention at the age of 2 to address these delayed milestones. Gia was seen by a psychologist at the age of 5 and was issued an IQ test, which confirmed her suspected diagnosis of mild intellectual disability with a score of 65. Her diagnosis of mild intellectual disability has affected many areas of occupation, including her newest role as a student. Gia is approximately 2 years behind developmentally. She is recently demonstrating frequent behavior difficulties at home and in school, although she has no additional diagnoses at this time. Gia has many performance weaknesses which have an effect across most occupations. This includes poor working memory, reduced executive functioning, limited adaptive behavior, poor social skills, limited social judgment and understanding of social cues, limitations with communication, delayed reading, writing, and math, and delays in fine and gross motor. However, she does have performance strengths to help support successful occupational performance, including a strong family support, prior early intervention services, which have helped improve some of her delays in gross motor, and no deficits with ambulation or basic activities of daily living. These performance weaknesses, specifically adaptive behavior, will be the main focus of Gia's occupational therapy intervention. Individuals with an intellectual disability have poor adaptive behavior, poor planning, reasoning, comprehension, and low intellectual functioning. Adaptive behavior is limited, which directly affects the ability to learn and utilize new skills. Conceptual skills, including language, reading, writing, money management, concept of time, and the concept of numbers, is a challenge for Gia. Social adaptive skills, including interpersonal skills, self-esteem, gullibility, social problem solving, and lack of social responsibility, are all areas to be addressed for her. Practical skills, including instrumental ADLs, rule following, and avoiding danger, will also need to be addressed for Gia. For Gia, it is important to reach and maintain the highest level of independence. This means making the necessary changes within herself, the occupation, or the environment to improve occupational performance. The developmental frame of reference will be used for Gia as it helps create goals that focus on skills and occupations to advance to the next level of development. Once performing developmental level has been identified based on typical development, the Just Right Challenge will be used to select appropriate intervention activities. Additionally, the behavioral frame of reference will be used for Gia as learning through repetition of behaviors with carefully chosen reinforcement is the focus of behaviorism. This frame of reference will encourage repeated desired behaviors and reduced undesirable behavior to allow for improved occupational participation. There are many assessments that would be appropriate to use with Gia. The BOT2 and the Peabody would be useful for assessing gross and fine motor skills. The School Function Assessment and MFUN will help address skills required for her new role as a student, including performance and participation in school-related tasks such as academics and social aspects. The PDCAT and the Vineland measure capability and performance in daily skills such as adaptive skills. And lastly, the SIPT and sensory profile can be used to measure sensory processing across all natural environments. The two assessments I will use for Gia are the BOT2 and the Vineland 3. The Bot2 provides a bottom-up approach that will give insight into where her weaknesses and strengths are for areas such as gross and fine motor, which will directly affect her new role as a student. The Bot2 will be helpful as it is a comprehensive assessment of gross and fine motor skills, including fine motor precision, manual dexterity, fine motor integration, bilateral coordination, running, balance, and upper limb coordination. The Vineland-3 will deliver a top-down approach, giving a better understanding of where Gia's occupational strengths and weaknesses are that impact her life roles, including daughter, friend, and student. The Vineland-3 is used to measure adaptive behavior skills, including communication, such as receptive, expressive, and written, socialization, such as interpersonal relationships, play and leisure, and coping skills, and daily living, including person, domestic, and community. The assessments I have chosen will directly correlate with Gia's occupational engagement. Since the Bot2 addresses gross and fine motor skills, the outcomes of the assessment will provide insight for interventions to address her fine and gross motor weaknesses that impact classroom activities like writing and cutting. The results of the Vineland-3 will aid in intervention planning for improving adaptive behaviors, including conceptual skills for functional academics, social skills for social participation, and practical skills including safety and rule following. The results of the chosen assessments will translate to her functional independence across all environments in many different occupations. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.